Thank you so much for having me today, and very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Weiyao, and I am the co-founder and technical director at Flare Dynamics. At Flare, we design, develop, and deploy micro-aerial robotics. I am going to take you through how micro-autonomous aerial robots help us and help you gather data from the world around you in the next 15 minutes. Anyone know where this is? This is Singapore. It's the Jewel in Singapore's International Airport, and it's literally called the Jewel. It houses one of the tallest indoor waterfalls in the world. This is Ferrari World, one of the largest indoor structures in the world, exactly 1 mile in that direction. Now, anyone know where this is? This is the view out of my hotel room at the Yas Marina. But what do all these buildings have in common? They are extremely large, extremely high-tech, but they are very difficult to inspect and maintain. So let's fast forward 30 years, and these buildings are left derelict and dangerous if not maintained well. But how do we effectively inspect modern structures today so that they last into the future? Today, we'll be taking a very brief look at how micro-aerial robotics is revolutionizing the way we gather data from the world efficiently. So what constitutes to a micro-drone? You have your biggest drones at the Group 5 all the way down to the smallest drones at the Group 1 level. Today, we'll be talking most about the Group 1s. The first use of a drone started in warfare in 1917. In 1936, the US started its own drone program, and this was followed suit by other governments around the world. Now let's fast forward to 2013, and we saw the commercial applications expansion of drone use to many industries. In 2014, we started the Discrete Eye Micro Drone program. Now, the Discrete Eye Micro Drone program came from an industry need for an intrinsically safe drone to be used by first responders. In 2015, we started with the Mark I that was used by the Fire and Rescue Department. And let's fast forward all the way to 2023 with the Mark V, which is the latest generation, built and developed from years of iteration and customer feedback. But let's ask ourselves one question. Why go smaller? Why build micro drones? Well, going smaller is not unique to us. It is not unique to the industry. Well, in fact, it's not even unique at all. Miniaturization is a common technology trend. The most obvious example is the device that's in your pocket right now. From the early 2000s, cell phones have drastically reduced in thickness, as you can see there. This is hugely in part due to the miniaturization of batteries and processors, all right? Now, this is what we call feature-driven miniaturization. Why go smaller? Smaller is safer. The whole reason for the Discrete Eye Micro Drone program was because of a need to create a drone that was intrinsically safe. How do you ensure when the drone falls out of the sky, it doesn't kill anyone, essentially? We need to make sure that our devices are fail-safe. Smaller is also cheaper to operate. It might not be cheaper to manufacture at the beginning of a product's life cycle, but smaller components in general are easier to maintain throughout the device's life cycle. What you see in my hand here is the integrated circuit board of the Mark IV drone. It nucleates all navigational, processing, power distribution, and communications all in a palm-sized package. Why go small? Well, smaller allows you to go into smaller places. Remember, a small drone can go into a large place, but a large drone cannot go into a small place. We'll talk more about this later, but have this in mind, right? Why go small? On top of being safe to operate and safe to people, micro drones are also safer to use around sensitive and fragile equipment. The fear of asset-on-asset damage it's highly mitigated just by relying on the laws of simple physics. The adoption of solid-state technology, especially in the area of memory storage, has really provided a catalyst for this growth. Energy storage devices, essentially batteries, it's the rave, right? Everybody here is talking about batteries. Now, since the early 2000s, battery capacity has increased more than 8-fold. And the reason behind that is the proliferation of high-powered electric vehicles. Now, when it comes to data, it's all about data, right? When it comes to data, the more data, the better, right? Well, that might not necessarily be the case if you can't process the data fast enough. From the days whereby computers were the size of literal buses, processors have steadily decreased in size while increasing in capability. More processing power allows us to build even smaller and smaller autonomous aircraft. Without the use of GPS and GNSS technology, our onboard processors can accurately navigate our drones back into a small landing area. All the way back home. Most drones are simply data acquisition devices. They augment our ability to be able to gather data from the world around us. Now, the tip of that data acquisition spear is the drone's payload. Cameras and other sensors have drastically reduced in size while increasing data output quality. At Flare Dynamics, we have three main business divisions. Our advanced engineering division that creates cutting-edge technology, our drone services division called Drone Achieve, and lastly, our maintenance and consultancy division called Reliance. Now, Drone Achieve, the middle one, our drone as a service division, consists of a highly specialized team of drone operators that gather critical and highly valuable data for our customers. Now, remember the building that we are in, or close by to this building. This is the Yas Marina. Now, let's imagine this scenario. There have been unconfirmed reports of snakes on the facade of the Yas Marina. Don't panic, hypothetical situation. How are we going to be able to inspect the internal facade of the Yas Marina roof structure? Now, I want everybody to remember these images. We'll come back to it in a bit. Option 1, you could use a boom lift, but the boom lift might not be tall enough. Option 2, you could erect scaffolding as well, but that's going to cost a lot of money and a lot of time. Option 3, you could engage a rope access team, but access to a particular area on such a complex roof may be somewhat limited, and we are talking about snakes here, right? Now, option 1, 2, and 3 all involve people working from height, which is extremely hazardous. The number of fatalities just from work at height incidents around the world alone has been on the rise. Now, isn't it highly inefficient to spend so much time and so much money trying to gain access to a particular area of interest, but only to spend mere seconds trying to inspect that particular site? Imagine doing any of the above and realize, well, it was a snake, but less of a snake than we previously anticipated. Imagine the amount of time and money invested. Now, using a small drone, would have provided with the information without the consequences of options 1, 2, and 3. Buildings in Singapore are mandated to be inspected once every 7 years, depending on their age. This is done to assess their condition and structural integrity. By integrating AI classification technology, as you can see here, we are able to identify and classify defects automatically, resulting in time efficiency and data accuracy. On top of that, we provide the world's leading anti-drone red teaming services that ensure aerodromes around the world are safe against unapproved en route drones. In addition, we are able to 3D scan entire buildings and complex terrain to enable our customers to provide better decision-making and predictive maintenance. In addition, we provide a multi-year, multi-department aerial services for responders and we actually provide this 2 hours. The customer just has to engage us, let us know, and we will be boots on ground within 2 hours anywhere in Singapore. But our drone services division, isn't just a highly efficient data acquisition engine, no. Drone Achieve is an industry engagement mechanism. By understanding the challenges or the agendas and challenges that our customers now have faced, and will face, we have amassed a huge information repository that allows us to cross-check to stay relevant and focused. If different customers from the same industry all share the same pain point, then it's a pain point worth solving. The purpose creates the machine. One of the recurring wish lists that we get quite often is for aerial data on demand, 24/7, indoors and out, while being weather resistant and cost effective. So how do we make unmanned aerial services truly unmanned? These are things that the drone do. Fly, capture, transmit, right? I'm oversimplifying it, but that's what the drone does. The person on the ground, on the other hand, has to program, charge, download, process, store the information, clean, check, repair, present, check. Essentially, the guy on the ground, or the person on the ground still has to do a lot of work, not really unmanned. But how do you really make unmanned aerial services truly unmanned? This is Coverage Go. You are looking at 100% automation of inspection work, 400% faster than ever before, and at least 150% cheaper. But most importantly, we are now infinitely safer because we are removing an individual from harm's way. Coverage Go consists of three main components, including data acquisition, data processing, and data presentation. Now, Coverage Go was created to complete the solution circle that Drone Achieve, our drone services division, is not optimum for. Drone Achieve still remains an integral part of the very first step of technology adoption, with the goal of gradually integrating more and more technology as we move along the data acquisition process. We are not just a technology company, we are a technology enabler. Spiral Robotics utilizes Coverage Go with their software-hardware suite to autonomously inspect and monitor tunnel systems in the whole of Japan. What you see here is the Mark IV drone about to take off and get used to its surroundings. Upon takeoff, it's going to fly down the entire tunnel to the next dock, where it will charge and then hop to the next one after that. Part of a deployment model we call hopping. Now, drone docks are not new. In fact, Coverage Go is an evolution in miniaturization from its bigger brother called Coverage, what you see there. And actually, in fact, a couple of years ago, we actually put Coverage to the test by deploying it in the middle of the Abu Dhabi desert, not too far away from here. Now, these scenarios have catalyzed a need to miniaturize drone dock systems. So what's next in the market? Micro-drones market, just micro-drones alone, is calculated to be $28.9 billion by 2030, with a compound annual growth rate of more than 17%. One of the things that would spur this growth is cross-industry adaptability or dual-use applications. Cross-industry adaptability reduces cost of products due to amortization and essentially makes products cheaper to be able to be adopted. We are happy to announce that Bayonet and Flare Dynamics will be signing a memorandum of understanding right here at DriftX to further develop technology and applications for micro unmanned dock systems here in the Middle East and the rest of the world. The unmanned industry is an application-driven industry. Different applications require different data requires different sensors. The advent of smaller and smaller sensors will see the micro-drone industry adopt the most cutting-edge sensory technology. And the buzzword swarm. Well, advancements in swarm technology will allow multiple micro-drones to operate in a centralized, decentralized, and hierarchical control architecture manner. This will allow more swarm capabilities, enhancing data acquisition processes. Self-diagnostics with self-remedial capabilities are expected to be introduced in the upcoming few years. Essentially, we will have more drones in one dock. And lastly, as you've seen with everything, right, miniaturization, we will see drone docks getting smaller and smaller, cheaper and cheaper. So let's wrap this up real quick. Micro drones are the evolutionary next step. Their physical size and technology suite will not only promote safety, but reduce costs and efficiency. So the next time if you need an eye on something, consider using a micro drone. Maybe even a micro drone with a dock. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. It has been an absolute pleasure. My name is Weiyao, and we'll be over at the Bayonet booth. Good afternoon. Thank you.